Hi everybody, Pierre-Paul Turgeon here, Canada's multifamily investing authority, and as you may know, a former insider. That's right, I used to be with Cmhc, Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, as an apartment building underwriter, and I'm a full-time successful multifamily investor myself. Well, listen, time is running out. If you want to attend my upcoming March 25th to the 27th Canadian Multifamily Investing Blueprint three-day live workshop, it expires on March 15th is the deadline to take advantage of the early bird pricing. All right. So what does the early bird pricing entails? Well, first of all, it includes both the on-demand course, lifetime access to the on-demand course, which is the same content that I teach during the virtual live workshop, except you go through it at your own pace from the comfort of your home. I'll come back to that in a moment. Plus, you get to also attend the three-day live workshop. As you can see, since COVID-19, I've adapted to technology to be able to deliver this course that used to be obviously in person. I'm using amazing technology around me to make it very engaging, very, very interactive. But I also want to point out that I wear different hats to present to you different perspectives. Since I used to be an underwriter, I wear my former Cmhc hat as a former underwriter. Since I'm a full-time investor, I'll also wear my investor's hat when I present this content to you. And since I have legal training, I'll also present to you my legal perspectives to make it very, very hands-on, again, very engaging, and make sure that you know what you're getting into when you face the real world of multifamily investing. What I'm giving you is the same step-by-step process that I personally use to invest in apartment buildings. And by the way, I'm in an acquisition mode right now, but that process is the same one that I used also at Cmhc to analyze apartments, right? Which in turn is going to enable you to get the best financing terms and conditions in the business and, make you look like a pro from the get-go. When I say step-by-step process, I really mean it, right? You just put in your own information into my templates. I've got a checklist system to make sure that you don't skip any of the steps and that you don't make costly mistakes and that you have a successful investment. I'm going to share with you my user-friendly Excel spreadsheet. Again, the same spreadsheet I used to use at Cmhc. It's got detailed instructions on how to use it. Green cell, you put a number in there and all the calculations are done for you, which again are going to make you look like a professional apartment building investor from the get-go. I'm going to share with you all my personal tools. Like I said, my user-friendly spreadsheet, but I've created a lot of charts like this flowchart with the entire investment process, an offer to purchase flowchart, right? All the investing strategies depending on the circumstances of your deal, and I've summarized all the underwriting guidelines, whether you go CMHC insured financing or conventional financing. I'm going to be sharing with you also an offer template, an inspection checklist, a letter requesting documents from the vendor. Basically, I'm sharing with you all my multifamily hacks that I've learned in my days at CMHC, watching other multifamily investors get their financing for their deals, plus what I've learned as a full-time multifamily investor myself. That in turn will shave years from your learning curve. The emphasis is on experiential approach, meaning in the good old days before the pandemic, I used to take you to an apartment building to complete a full building inspection accompanied by a professional building inspector. Well, since in this early bird offer, I'm giving you access to the on-demand course, so it contains a 45-minute video of an inspection accompanied by Alan Spizak, an amazing, probably the best building inspector ever, all right? And Alan, during the virtual workshop, is going to come and spend a couple of hours with us to answer all your questions. And not only that, but because you're a student of mine, he'll give you his personal phone number. And after you've attended the workshop, you can call on him from anywhere in Canada to ask for advice. And guess what? I do that myself fairly regularly, all right? So you don't lose anything because it's virtual. You still get to view a full professional building inspection of an apartment building by watching the video in the on-demand course. I also have a few guest speakers. I have my property manager, because again, the purpose is to really show you what you're getting into, right? So there's management challenges sometimes. We all know that. It's a tenant-landlord business, and it has its challenges. So Braden Paquette, my current property manager, is going to come in and give us, answer your questions and give you some tips. Then I have a mortgage broker, Naveen Keshavji from Green Birch Capital, good friend of mine who brings it brings to the virtual course more case studies in addition to those that I present to you. Then I have also a mortgage, not a mortgage realtor, but a realtor, Sam Dean, a good friend of mine, to present to you what is expected of you in terms of prior preparation when you work with a multifamily realtor. And now I've got new stuff since last year. First of all, I'm upgrading the on-demand course to update it, but I'm also building a vault of video interviews with other multifamily experts such as a mortgage broker, plumber, property manager, etc. All right, and pest control and other students as well, because I want you to learn from others who have been there before, not just myself, but other successful students as well. All right, and I'm also creating these one-pager blueprints to summarize each of the steps as you go along. Since 2021, as I said, the virtual workshop is 3 full days specifically to accommodate more case studies that we analyze in class. All right, we crunch the numbers for the deals in class to make you comfortable. You can get to ask me questions as well as to the various experts. You will also get a printable or downloadable workbook with all the slides, and as I'm teaching, you can take notes next to it. So the on-demand course and the virtual workshop is taught through 8 modules. When it's the on-demand course, like I said, they're short, bite-sized videos, 1 concept per lesson. Once you've assimilated, you've understood it well, you can move on to the next one, and you can use the on-demand course every time that you buy another building. It's got all examples of how I conducted my market due diligence, and we look at 1 case study from beginning to end, how I did my market study or my market research, why I bought it, what financing strategy I used, etc., etc. These are the 8 modules that I'm teaching, right? So introduction, research and planning, writing an offer, property risk factor, market, valuation, and investor or borrower risk factor. And then, of course, my favorite topic, financing, okay? The virtual workshop, 3-day workshop, has the same content, but way more case studies and direct interaction with me and the various various multifamily experts, as well as your classmates. Don't underestimate the power of networking. It's one of the benefits of attending the live workshop that my students really love year after year, okay? So that's what the on-demand course looks like, short, bite-sized videos, and you go through each of the lessons at your own pace. All the PDFs, all the stuff that I've mentioned, due diligence checklist, the video of the building inspection is attached there. Look, folks, there's no such a thing as 100% risk-free investment, but my promise, my unequivocal promise, is that you will look like a professional multifamily investor from the get-go. Banks and CMHC are going to love you, and in turn, you're going to be able to get better financing conditions, all right? And CMHC, remember that, has the highest standards in the land. So by taking my course, it's going to significantly reduce your stress and build your confidence. I'll let you go to my website and look at some amazing testimonials that year after year I get from graduate students, all right? Here, Mike said, you're crazy. If you want to buy a multifamily property, you don't take this course. Another Mike here said that he would have gladly paid $10,000 knowing what he knew, having taken my workshop. You're not going to pay anywhere near that. And year after year, my students rated over 9 out of 10, rate the live virtual workshop over 9 out of 10, all right? Even mortgage brokers attend my workshop. Last year, Dahlia sent 4 of her staff to be trained by me in this regard. So who is this training for? Well, it's for people who want to take charge of their destiny, people who can think abundance, who want to create financial freedom, people willing to adopt a mindset. There's no tire kickers in this business of multifamily investing. It's for people who will do whatever it takes. And remember, success is not a straight line. It's an iterative process. You got to roll up your sleeves and you got to be able to do your homework, which is super critical. And guess what? If you attend the live workshop within the first day, you don't think I'm giving you over 10 times the value that I'm promising you with this video, you can return the material, no questions asked, all right? Not a problem at all. And it hardly ever happens, so I'm not too worried about it, all right? And just so that you know, I think by now you probably know if you're watching this video that apartment buildings are a very low risk asset. Throughout the pandemic, it's been reconfirmed once again, just like back in 2008, 2009, the Great Recession that we had then, because people always are in need of constant shelter. Their rent check is the last one to bounce because they need a shelter, right? Precisely. And after crisis, like the one that we just had over the last couple of years with the pandemic. They're among the asset classes that rebound the quickest, all right? And there's been very low negative impact by the pandemic on multifamily properties. So now there's a bit of a stampede precisely to invest in apartment buildings. And of course, Forbes magazine said that it's one of the best investment types that you can invest in times of recession. So what are you getting? You're getting almost over $17,000 in value, all right, in this course. First of all, let me move that picture. The live 3-day workshop, usually I sell for $34.97, all right? The on-demand course on its own, usually I sell for $24.97, okay? And this time, I'm giving you a 120-minute free, 120-minute one-on-one session with me, all right? Plus, you get to be part of my private Facebook group where from time to time, I'm going to be giving some training program, all right? And of course, you're going to get a copy of my financing application template, all right? You'll see exactly how to put a perfect financing application for your banker or your lender. And again, that's super important to make you look like a pro, all right? Because tire kickers are not welcome in this kind of business. So my job is to build your confidence, give you the tools to be successful at it. So all of that for $24.97. And again, the early bird pricing ends on March 15th at midnight, all right? Now, if you don't have prior experience in multifamily, no problem. You don't have capital, no problem. You don't need to be good with math or with spreadsheets. These are graduate students of mine. Look at how many units they now own. Actually, I should update those because many of them own even more units now than that, okay? None of them had prior experience or capital, and they were not necessarily wizards of spreadsheets and so on, but they took action and they took my training program. Now, I don't per se teach you how to attract capital. Although during the live workshop, it's complete open dialogue. There's no questions I will not answer, including how I structure my joint ventures and all of that. But I can give you a tip here. When I raise capital, right, I use the same kind of structure and framework that I used as an underwriter, which is what are the risk factors involved in investing in an apartment building and how do you mitigate these risks? Because if you think about it, your prospective investors want to know exactly the same thing as your banker. So although I don't teach how to attract capital, I did have a master class on that, but the tools that I'm giving you in this course will go tremendous long way to help you attract capital for your multifamily deals. And remember, all my students didn't use their own capital. All of them use other people's money. You can do the same if you know what you're doing. It's amazing what it's done for me to invest in multifamily properties and my family and the kind of lifestyle that can have. It does not happen overnight. You got to roll up your sleeves and you got to do the work. Now, really, I love this quote by Warren Buffett that says the best investment that you can make is one that inflation cannot beat. You cannot be taxed and nobody can take it away from you. It's investing in yourself. And I was lucky enough to do some training with both Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins, and they too invest a lot of money in their education. This is the kind of investment you first need to do your homework before you can be successful at it. All right. So now is your opportunity. The early bird pricing ends on March 15th. All right. You can go to my website, multifamilyinvestingcanada.com, or click on the link below to take advantage of this amazing early bird pricing, again, that contains both the on-demand course, lifetime access to it with all the upgrades that I'm working on right now and future upgrades as well, plus 3-day workshop, live workshop, all that for $24.97 plus GST, and it's a $1,000 discount. So please attend this course with me. We're going to have a blast, and I look forward to getting to know you. In the meantime, I wish you and your families well and health and joy. Cheers.